Now, Posse, this is just an introduction before I blow your mind, because I will be talking about the creator of all that, The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, Sam and Cat, Victoria, Zoe 101, and the list goes on and on and on. And it's funny, so do the allegations. Walk with me, Posse. Quite on set, the explosive two-part documentary that aired this March to expose Nickelodeon and some of the former powers that be really took off on social media. It has everyone gripped, and I had the opportunity to speak to two former Nickelodeon All That stars, Brian Hearne and Giovonnie Samuels, and we discussed what their experiences were like while they were on set with Dan Schneider, who was the mastermind behind a number of Nickelodeon hits for decades. He allegedly ruled with an iron fist, and his alleged reign of terror came to an end a couple of years ago. However, Hearne and Samuel say that they feel just as shocked as the rest of the world with some of the allegations that came out in the documentary. Hearne told me that while Hearne and Samuels were studying under Brian Peck, who was an on-set tutor for the cast members of All That and other shows on Nickelodeon, they said that they felt uncomfortable around him, but they considered him a friend most of the time. I mean, they went to his house, took pictures together, they would hug. Samuel said that Peck even signed her like All That yearbook, so they had a friendly relationship. And again, he hosted parties at his house for the All That cast and other Nickelodeon stars. So even though he was a little questionable, they really didn't know what they didn't know. And what we found out together as an audience was that Drake Bell, the star of Drake and Josh, who also starred on The Amanda Show, was allegedly brutally sexually assaulted by Peck for a number of years throughout his teens. Samuels and Hearne told me that they had no clue. They didn't really know Bell that well, but of course, being Nick stars, you see them on red carpets, you see them out and about on set, or different things that you're involved in, and you just kind of do what you do, as most of us do with our coworkers. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And unfortunately, Bell was suffering silently for a long time. He ended up, for the first time, sharing his experience in the documentary. Right now, all eyes are really on Dan Schneider. Nothing criminal is said against him, but he has, since this documentary released, issued a public apology for some of his very questionable and toxic behavior. He said that he really wishes he could go back and do better. This is really becoming a larger conversation, not just about what happened in the 90s and 2000s to these Nick stars, but really what happens to child stars, and how even though parents and guardians and teachers and tutors are supposed to be on set to always watch out for the children, that doesn't always happen. Parents and everyone can't be everywhere. And if a parent is there, like Hearne, he told me that his mother was quick to call out Peck when he took a picture with him and kind of bit him in his head. It was like supposed to be a funny, cutesy moment, but Hearne said that his mother quickly said, no, 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 no. And not as a result of that incident, but shortly thereafter, he was let go of All That. He only was on one season. It seems that everyone's hope for the next generation of child stars is that there are a lot more checks and balances and protection set up so that children do not have to endure some of the traumas that these Nick stars endured.